Hello everyone, welcome to Cassandra's Chinese Food Kitchen. Today we are not cooking a full dish. I'm going to teach you how to thicken stir-fry food with a starch slurry sauce, especially for induction stoves. In Chinese cooking, this is a common way to make food taste richer and look glossy. In the next video, I will show how to cook with a gas stove. This video is mainly for people using induction stoves, but if you use a gas stove, I still recommend watching it because it will help you understand how starch slurry sauce thickens, how to watch the sauce, and how to protect your pan. By starch slurry sauce, I mean a sauce made with water, seasonings, and starch. It plays a similar role to the French roux, but this method is faster and easier. Dishes like compo chicken and General Tso's chicken both use this technique. Many people think you can't make this kind of dish on an induction stove, especially a low-power induction stove. Is that true? Well, yes, but only if you use the traditional method. In the kitchen, we need to be materialist. Let's break down the heating method. On a traditional gas stove, you can use very high heat. The starch slurry sauce thickens quickly and coats the food. Some powerful induction stoves can also do this, but many induction stoves are weaker and the heat is not very even, such as this. So the starch may not thicken quickly enough. It may sink to the bottom of the pan and burn. Also, if you heat some ingredients for too long at a low temperature, they can become tough, especially squid and beef. Cassandra predicts that you may end up with a pot of boiled leather or rubber rings. So, if you want to make this kind of stir fry on an induction stove, you need to cook the starch slurry sauce first. Every induction stove is different. Every pan is different. I can't give you an exact cooking time, so we need to do a test. Prepare an induction stove and a pan. I'm using a very ordinary induction stove. Its highest power is 2100 watts. In my family, no one uses it for stir frying. Usually put it on the table and for a hot pot. My pan is an enamel coated cast iron pot. It is thick. It heats up very slowly, but the bottom keeps heat very well. I don't recommend this pot for stir frying. I'm only using it for demonstration. You should understand your own stove and your own pan, and choose a pan that works better for stir frying. This test is a little complicated. The process is only to show you how to make and observe a starch slurry sauce. It is not a recipe for cooking the whole dish. First, add some cold water to the pan. Make sure the water covers the whole bottom of the pan. If the sauce can't cover the bottom, it is much easier for the starch to stick and burn. Then pour the water out. You can look at the water level in the bowl or use a measuring cup to record the amount. This will make real cooking easier later. Now add some colored seasoning to the water. Ketchup, soy sauce, BBQ sauce, anything like that. It will be easier to observe if you use seasonings with bright and dark colors. I'm using dark soy sauce. Now add starch. Usually, the ratio to the starch to water is about 1 to 12 or 1 to 15. You can measure it if you want, but honestly, when I cook it at home, I rarely measure it that precisely. When you add starch to the sauce and mix it well, you will see that the sauce becomes lighter and cloudy. That is normal. Starch is a white powder. It is a little like adding white paint when you mix colors. Now, heat a little water in the pan and boil. This is to warm up the pan and imitate the condition of stir frying. Now the water boils, pour it out. Before pouring the starch slurry sauce into the pan, stir it again. Starch settles at the bottom very easily. Now turn on the medium-low heat and keep stirring. On my stove, I'm using 1000 watts. As the starch cooks, the sauce will return to its original color. It will become less pale and less cloudy. Now, when the sauce can coat this, and you see bubbles in the pot, turn off the heat. Then keep stirring for about 10 more seconds. Watch whether the sauce becomes even thicker after the heat is off. This step tells you what to do when you cook the real dish. Should you keep heating, or can the remaining heat finish the sauce? In general, when the sauce starts to thicken, you can add the ingredients that are already boiled or fried. Whether you turn off the heat immediately depends on your induction stove and your pan. If your pan keeps heat very strongly, turn off the heat earlier. After cooking, it is best to move the pan away from the induction stove. Pour in water and stir. This is to save your pan. If starch keeps heating at the bottom, it can settle, thick, and burn. You may still need to try this a few times before you fully understand the process. The goal is to make the sauce coat the food evenly. Is there a shortcut? Maybe not. Every kitchen skill need practice. If you are Catholic, you may pray to Saint Lawrence. He is a patron saint of cooks. He knows a lot about avoiding burnt food. But I'm not sure he understands Chinese cooking, so just practice, my friends.